Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. So, uh, welcome to my live stream, guys. I just want to say thank you for turning up, for showing up, and yeah, let's just do some random things this morning. So, uh, and just do some random things this morning, and let's get it started, I guess. I noticed that there's like this sound. How should I put it? This kind of sound like overlay or something. But yeah, well, let's get this started. So so I have one of my friends work here. I have one of my friends work here that will be coloring today. His name is Alex, and I'll just be doing some little, you know, some little kind of ghost of Yote kind of vibe on this work, you know, depicting from cool colors to warm colors and the likes. So I want you guys to stick with me, you know. Okay. So if you have anything to ask, I'll be here to answer any kind of question, you know. So just watch as I do my thing. Hey, so this is what is it called? Clip Studio Paint. I'm currently using Clip Studio Paint for my color works. I'm using Clip Studio Paint. So the answer to your question, comic books. I don't use what is it called? I don't use I use grayscale, but the way I kind of use my grayscale is, should I say, different. The way I use grayscale, and I will still show you how I do my own grayscale, how I go about my own grayscale. It might be new. It's kind of similar to what's his name, Mate Gracia kind of grayscale. You understand? Please let me know if you get me, so I can come again. Hey, thank you, Precious. Thank you. And so right now, after separating our what is it called, our elements from away from the background, as you can see, I use a gray color for the background and a different color for the main character. And I know some people, the way they color, the next thing they start doing is just start, laying the flats, putting in the flats, putting in, all necessary, just flats. And if you don't know what flat means, it means, how am I going to put it? It means putting base colors, which is like, okay, the color of the face, the color of the eyes, the color of the lips, the color of the sword, the katana, the color of this, this, separating each element with their colors. So, but for people that are like, okay, we'll get there. I'll explain everything one by one as we're going so that it won't be too much of, how am I going to say it, too much of information to put in so you can digest it little by little. And also, if you know you're an artist, you have your graphic style, you have, you can just practice with me. I know. So let's do something. So after separating all this, I create a new layer, and you know add a touch of gray to it, just like that. Now everything is already gray. Everything is already gray and everything. And this is the way I color. I deal with the background first. After putting this gray, I don't where is it good? I don't lay my flats immediately. So how I do my things is I lay my flats and I color directly. So which I'm going to explain is kind of tricky, but I'll explain later. So okay, so comic books, can you hear me now? Is it clear now? Just let me know if you can hear me now so I can proceed with the explanation. If you can hear me clearly, let me know. If it is clear, let me know. So comic books, I'm still waiting for your response. I want to know if you can hear me clearly now so I can proceed with the explanation I said before. Okay. So yeah, I want to say all these and yeah, they are all done on normal layer. They are all done on normal layer. So and so let me take a few steps back. So right now, this is our what is it called? This is our line art. This is our line art and all. And right now, I just did something that they call separation, like color separation, which is this color separation helps with separating the background from the element, the key element, which is the character that we have here. So first thing first, I select my character and I apply a base color, which is just a desaturated red or orange rather, a desaturated orange. And from there, I added another color to the background. I used another color, sorry, I used another color for the background, which is a gray color, which is another layer, another layer, you understand, to just separate the background from the key elements so that anytime I want to work on the background, I'll be able to, if I want to select the background and work on it, I'll be able to have my separation layers that will help me with easy selection, if that makes sense. So right now I created another layer, set everything to gray, and that's what I'm doing now. Created another layer, set everything to gray, and what I'm going to do now is start rendering. And that is why I said my own style, my own way of coloring is kind of tricky because it's not as similar to other people's kind of style. Because normally people will be like, oh, you're not laying your flat. I know. Yes, definitely. I do that sometimes when it comes to comic books. But when it comes to posters, I don't really do that of I just feel how am I going to put it? It's not like a specific reason. It's not like I do it with like a specific. It just makes things easier for me to just go straight to the point. And I know you might be wondering that okay, what about correction? You want to correct later? Yes, I can still correct because there's something that I do, which is But before we get to the key element, which is the character, let's just work on the background first. So now I want to render. Where is it called? I want to render the background. I want to render the background, and I'm thinking of using a game study from Ghost of Yote. So on my other screen, I have Ghost of Yote, checking Ghost of Yote and the likes. So I might just pull it up to the screen now for people to see what I'm actually doing. So this is it. So I'm checking Ghost of Yote. I'm checking Ghost of Yote and looking at moods and looking at the moods and the likes, and looking for the kind of mood I want to follow. I want to give this character. Is it spotlighting? Is it, different kind of stuff like that? Just that kind of thing. Uh, is it possible that you can screen record this and re-upload? Because I'm kind of a slow learner. I could love and appreciate it if you can screen record it and upload, and so I can download that link. Yep. Every live stream I've done, I usually upload them. So you can still come back to watch it. You understand? You can still come back to watch it. I usually upload everything. So starting from next month, that's when I'll start uploading videos where I'll be explaining step by step. You understand? But I'm just doing this live stream for everybody to just see how comic coloring is being done, how rendering is being done, and we can just, you can just have fun, chill, have fun, listen to what is going on and all. Understand? So yeah, that's just it. Yeah, exactly. The other layers are under the gray layer, grayscale layer. Exactly. You're getting it. Exactly. So after applying this gray layer on top of those separation layers, that's when I wanna start my rendering. So this gray layer now gives me value in a way. So after doing my thing, I'll just control U, increase the brightness of the background. I know that okay, the background there is going to be lighter while the what is it called? The key element, which is the character, is going to be darker. You understand? So meaning the background, the colors I'll be using are going to be less saturated. It's going to be less saturated, not so saturated and not so less saturated, but it's going to be less saturated, but still pop, but it's going to give this kind of something far away from the key element, if you get what I'm saying. So back to our Pinterest, checking for what to do, the mode we want to follow. I'm thinking of let's go for a gray mode. I was like, let's go for a gray mode, like a gray sky with something at the background, maybe a bright rainbow sweet background at the bottom. So I'll use my airbrush. I usually use my airbrush most of the time. So your default soft brush, just that's my main brush. In case you are wondering, I'm not using any special brush. Even though I have some brushes that has effects and the likes. So but for now, this is what I have. Just use airbrush for now. So so let's make this. So still going to add a dark sky, which I'm going to use a different color for. So it's going to give this kind of sunset vibe. Okay, so you don't understand what saturation means. So let me do something, and so let me quickly show you something. If you can see my screen, you see my color wheel. Yeah, you will see my color wheel. From this color wheel, you will notice some things. We have the darkest, we have the saturated area. So saturation means from the brightest color, which is this, to this. This is less saturation. If you check all these places on the color wheel, if you check the square, we pick the color which is, let's say, orange. We pick the like an orange color, and we have two demarcations on this color wheel, like from here to here. This place like this are cool colors, while here are warm colors. So if you pick any colors from here, they are warm, saturated colors. But when you start moving towards your left, that's when you start having desaturated colors. Desaturated colors. But when it comes to value, you deal with white and black. When it comes to values, you deal with white and black. When it comes to saturation, you deal with the top color to the lowest color around here. Like it's like diagonal. Any colors that you pick, diagonal, 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 diagonal. So saturated, less saturated, saturated, less saturated, saturated, less saturated, like that, like that, like that. If you understand. Saturated, less saturated, saturated, less saturated. And for values, values is just up and down. So light color, dark color, light color, dark color, light, dark, light, dark. That's for value. And we now have something we call hue. So this one, the one in this circle here, is our hue. So hue means picking of different colors. So let's say I have orange, I can have a reddish orange, red, pink, blue, purple, pink, blue, purple, cyan, metallic green, green, yellow, etc. like that. So if you understand, let me know so I can come back again to explain. If you don't understand, let me know. But if you understand, let me also know if you do. So we are going to continue with the colors, which is giving the sunset vibe to the background. That's soft light. And let's add a little bit of purple. The sky here. Well, one thing I noticed it's too smooth. The sky is too smooth, I need to have a little bit of roughness to it. So let me do something. So comic books, if you understand, please let me know. Here's something I can come back to and explain. So so right now I want to start adding some, some textures to the background. I just feel the background is too smooth. It's not really. I just don't know. I feel with a little bit of texture is going to give the thing life. So let me pick a brush from here and get to work. Let me see. What kind of brush does this? Did this work? Nope. Nope. Um, nope. Let me see if this is going to work. Uh, I'm still going to do some blending. So I'm going to do some blending. So um, just giving it some, giving it that perspective kind of feel, when the sky is like, it's not a really, a great sky if you ask me, but don't forget I'm a comic book colorist, so it's just to give that idea that okay, this is a sky. So far you can get it, that's all we need. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just to give the idea that oh, this is the sky and all. I feel I'm not doing it so well, but I'll get there. So oh, your colors are too saturated. Okay. So your question is which colors Which color is more great for coloring? Because some friends are criticizing you that your colors are too saturated. All colors are good for coloring. It's just how you use them. And that's where values comes in. That's when you know the difference between values and saturation. So when you are coloring, you need to be careful when you are coloring. Let me put it that way. You need to be careful when you are coloring. So basically, how am I going to say this? When you're coloring a comic book, yeah, when you're coloring a comic book, you tend to make the main characters a little bit saturated, not too saturated. When you are a comic book character, comic book colorist or any type of colorist, you don't go here. You don't go. If you can check my screen, you can see where I'm pointing to. When you are coloring, you don't go to some certain places like this part. Yeah. The only time you go to this part is when maybe you want to add effects and you select a kind of layer mode, maybe add light, maybe add glow. If you're using Photoshop, maybe linear dodge or add light or screen layer. That's when you can go to places like this. Then you are now the one that will now tweak it to your own taste. You understand? But when you are coloring, let's say something that is far away, you don't use saturated colors. Use desaturated colors. Not like really really desaturated. When you are coloring background, you are coloring background and you are still going to push it back a little so that the main characters can pop. You use colors from here like this. You don't come here. You don't near this part. You just pick colors from here. So it's just all about, it's not that your colors are not great, it's just knowing how to pick your colors. You understand? Just knowing how to pick your colors. So pick your colors from here, and when you want to color your characters, you pick colors from here. Don't near this part here. Just for now that you're still learning, just start with this. When you are comfortable working here, that's when you can now start branching to this place, to this part, so that by that time you would have known, okay, how to use this and how to use this and when to use this and when not to use this. You understand? So if you want to color, you want to lay your flat, pick flat color, pick desaturated colors for your flat and add your multiply. And after adding multiply, you want to start rendering, you can come here and start picking colors from here. But make sure you don't near this part. You don't need these parts like this. You don't need this part. These two saturated colors here, you don't really need it. Avoid them for now. You understand? So that's it. If you don't understand, let me know too. If you don't really get what I'm saying, let me know, please. I can come again, explain. The name of the brush that I'm using, honestly, I don't even know. It's called Mind Brush. Mind Brush. I downloaded it from Clip Studio website. So I can't really say, oh, this is where you can. It's just Mind Brush. I was just looking for a kind of brush and I saw the set. I downloaded it and it came with the set. So it's just like, should I say, bonus for me. And also, yeah. So one thing I'll do here is probably pick another layer to add, to add So the kind of what is it called? The kind of what is it called texture that I'm going what is it called? The kind of scene. Sorry, pardon me. Please let me just take some. So the kind of scene that I'm going for here is just like an evening scene. Yeah, if you might call it, it's not, yeah, like an evening, like a sun, should I say sunset kind of thing, scene in a way. So it's just me adding some random scribbles to it, and anytime I'm coloring, I always like think in a way of cinematic. How can I make this cinematic? How can I make this work cinematic? How can I make this thing that I'm doing cinematic? How can I make it cinematic as possible? So that's what I think. Always think to anytime I'm working on some things. How can I make it cinematic? So, and I want you guys to start thinking like that way too, because my friend that drew this work taught me, like, changed my way of thinking anytime I'm coloring. Because anytime I'm coloring, I always like color in comic book way, the normal comic book way, just make this as the key point, the rest push it backwards. But now I tend to color in a very, very cinematic way. I just want to make it as cinematic as possible, if you get my point. So, and another thing I learned from an artist, like maybe I think the artist he's a game director. He's a game director, and he said if you are rendering, try as much as possible to avoid white colors. Just use the normal colors. Try as much as possible to avoid white colors. And what he meant by that is that, let's say I'm rendering. If you come here, if you notice, this is the brightest area of the work. If I point my, what is it called, my color wheel, if you can see the way my color wheel is moving, you can't see white. Even I'm going to the brightest part, you can still see white. So try as much as possible to avoid white colors. That's what he thought, he said, and I'll be using that if you want to be creating, white background, cinematic colors, and try as much as possible to avoid white, and you will see the wonders. So, yep. So um, so now there's something about Ghost of Yote. If you guys have played the game, if you guys have checked out the game, Ghost of Yote, there's something about it that it has this sweet color and this mood, this cinematic vibe to it. And one key point is flowers like petals. Petals flying around, you know, stuff like that, that kind of thing, just to make it more, sweet, loving. So I'm thinking of the colors of the petals I want to use. Should I go for pink? Should I go for purple? Or should I go for yellow? So so I have like the default brush for petals from Clip Studio Paint. If you have Clip Studio, the default brush is there. It's the software came with default brushes like cherry petals, like we have. Let me zoom in so you can see the kind of petals and these other ones too. So I think I'll use this one. They're not big enough though, but I think there's a way I can do this. Just apply, make it the flow of the sky. So just like this, you know. So these ones are going to be here. Then we are going to create another. We are going to create another layer. We're going to create another layer for the big petals. So this one is going to make it look cinematic. So let me show you how it's going to look cinematic. So if you notice, I'm applying the petals and it's looking as if it is too much, but just wait. So from there, I'll take my transform tool, try to increase the size of the petal, make it big, make it big. If you can notice some big petals. Yeah, so one thing I'm going to do is now, blur the whole thing, blur the petals because they are very, very close to the screen. So we are going to blur the petals. And for the other little petals, we are going to add motion blur to it to make it look as if it is moving. You understand? So I'm just still waiting for my PC. I don't know. Okay, we are back. So as you can see now, we have these, what is it called? These big petals here. And what we are going to do is pour our filter, go to Gaussian blur first, increase the blur. As you can see, it's already blurry, and apply. Then after applying, we'll go to our small petals. If you can see, that's the layer we are on now, these little petals. And we are going to add filter again, motion blur. So we are going to zoom in to see the angle at which the petals are moving. So you can see now, it's already giving it that cinematic look already. So that is how it's going to be. Here you can see it's already giving that cinematic feel. So yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of motion blur to the big petals also. I think I should. Yeah, I should. Oh, let me do something first. Let me try to Let me try to. Yeah, I think this one is better. Yeah. So you can say it. So one thing we are going to do after our background, we've added some little touch to our background. For now, at least we have our background there. For now, we can decide to add maybe anything. I don't know what we want to add to our background, but for now, let's just leave it. We've added enough. So we, as you can see on this our effect, we've now added so many things here. We've now added effects. We've now colored our main character, the sword, and the likes. So one thing I noticed about Ghost of Yotei is that when applying, when coloring your characters needs to feel like to be in the mood with your background. It's not like, okay, you have a sunset and you colored your character as if your character is in daylight. No, it's not going to look cinematic. So your character needs to fit in with the mood of the background. So how are we going to do this? So let's start. First of all, let's start with the hmm. Which one should we start with? Okay, let's start with the eyes. Let's start with the eyes. Color the eyeball. So also please, for people that are viewing me, that are watching this live, please also share with your friends too. Share with your friends so that they can learn. It doesn't have to be a digital art stuff. You understand? They don't really need digital art to learn coloring. They can be doing traditional art. They can come and learn how to apply colors too on their traditional art. Because I've done traditional art before, way back in my school, and I've done so many things. I've done traditional art, I've done printing, I've done graphic design. I know much about these things, and one thing I can say, even though my work is not is not that hard, but one thing they commend me for is my usage of colors, the way I use colors. So that's why I'm just telling you guys that if you know you have any friend that is into traditional art and wants to learn colors or values, you can invite them, you can tell them to join the stream to watch and learn. If you have any group that you are on, you can share it with them, anybody that wants to learn to come and join. So yeah. So right now I want to color the eyes, the kind of fit that is going to fit for our character, the mood. So right now I'm a little bit, you know, skeptical. So let me just go back to my Pinterest to check moods, to check my character on how it looks. So for this, for example, we have this one here. So I'm looking at this and I'm looking at how it looks and how it feels. And I think I might go with this. So yeah. So for the eyes, let's make it gray in a way that's going to fit. I'm going to make the eyes gray in a way that's going to fit. And if you notice my rendering for the eyes, I'm not coloring everything white. You can still see a touch of gray here. And that's when the explanation for my usage of gray comes in. Now that's when the explanation comes in. So I use this gray to, to give me so that I can know my values, so that I don't cross my boundaries. So I color on them so to still give me that gray. Sometimes gray gives your character this cinematic feel in a way that you might not even understand. So it's just like applying some colors with a touch of gray. For example, if you can check Battlefield, especially Battlefield 6, you can see the way they use gray and oranges. The way they use orange and grays is so crazy. Very, very, very crazy. And I feel if you guys can start, I think another thing is study what is it called? Study game posters. All these graphic designers too, they are very, very good at colors. So you can learn a lot from them. Game posters, the likes. You will learn a lot. So I have color of the eyes. Let me make it blue, a shiny blue. One thing is knowing how to color, another thing is knowing render. How to render. You might know how to color, but you might not know how to render. So that's when you practice how comic colorists render their eyes. So the way I'm going to render this now, I'm going to add a gradient first with the original color of what I've added, a gradient, and I'm going to render this in this way. And as a comic book colorist, if you are going to be using, if you are going to be using, what is it called, soft brush, should know how to use your lasso too. Very, very important. So as you can see, we're already applying for the eye. The eye is already coming out. It's already making waves. So right now you can just add and set it to like add glow. It can be add glow, it can be add light, but I prefer to use add glow, which is also the same as linear dodge on Photoshop. So yeah, I come to white and apply here and apply here. So it's already making shape already, giving that feel. And another thing I like to do is creating a layer above my line art layer and clipping it to the line art layer so that I will be able to change the color of the line art. If you can see, the colors are changing. Colors are changing. Let me. So yeah, here we go. So now let's go for the face. Let's render the face. The first thing we want to do is select our face. And this is where I start applying my little flats. My little flats. Oh, thank you, comic boards. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. So we have so from the line art, if you can see from the line art, you can tell that the light is coming from the right. So another thing about coloring is just not about putting your colors to. You must know where the light is coming from. That's why if you notice the light is coming from the right here, and this place is like casting a shadow like this. So definitely the light is coming like this, like this. So one thing that we are going to do is apply our base color on the character so that we can start layering our moods on top of the character. So let's say this character is should we say dark skinned or light skinned. Let me see. Let's make this character just a little bit of you know brown skinned. So so right now I'm just going to apply, or for people that are just joining, you're welcome and welcome to the stream. And this is what we are doing, coloring. How we started from scratch, started from just black and white to this, coloring making it look, coloring in a cinematic style. So that's what we are doing, and that is what I also am learning, and I'm not still good at it, but at least to some extent I can still say, oh, I can still, you know, still execute some cinematic way of coloring. And even though you do traditional art and you want to be better at your colors, probably choosing of colors, you can ask questions and I will answer you too, because I also have done traditional art before, way back in school, and yeah, we can learn together. It's more just it's still the same thing. Colors are the same. It's just our own way of applying colors that is just different, and our means of applying colors are different. Mine is digital. Yours can be traditional. Yours can be in another way through graphic designing, printing, comic, whatever. So still the same thing. And so let's start with the face. I said I want to give this character a brown toned skin. And if you notice when I'm coloring my skin, I don't apply all the colors. You still have that gray, that little gray. You can still see a little bit of gray on it. So that is it. That's one thing. I apply my colors. I don't apply all. I apply in a saturated way, and that's when I wanna start building my moods on top of the character. So one thing I want to do now is using this gray mood to still build. And another thing you need to watch out for as a comic book colorist is how you select. How you select. I don't know if what I'm doing is right, but let's continue. Let's see how it goes. This is how you select. You have to select in 3D when you are coloring. Some people color in 2D. They color 2D art in 2D when the art is not even in 2D. So one thing you want to do is avoid coloring in 2D when you're coloring comic book. To make it more good, more sweet, more fancy, color it in 3D. So, okay. So, I have to color this like this, and yeah, one thing about the way you are going to color a what is it called, a lady's face is quite different, and which you can learn how to color a lady's face in comic way, comic style from what is it called, from Mate Gracia, or Mohamed Agbadi. I know some of you must have been familiar with Mohamed Agbadi. So he was one of the artists, one of the top comic book colorists that I looked up to then, and I still look up to now. And Mate Gracia, really love Mate. Mate is really good, really good. So so for now, as you can see, the way we are rendering our character is already coming to life, already giving shape, is already having that taste, that sweet taste of freedom. Of, oh, I'm coming back to life. I'm coming to life. So yeah, and just add a little bit of, you know, some colors here too. But the way we are going to break this, we are going to break this in this way. And this is where my coloring style comes in. I use shapes. Where I use shapes. If anybody is familiar with my style, they know that I always use shapes in my work. I tend to use shapes a lot, especially squares and rectangles, and what else? And triangles also, especially triangles. Triangles make things just look sweet if you are using triangles. If you can check Overwatch game, their art and the art style and all, you see a lot of triangles. You're going to see a lot of triangles, a lot of tones of triangles and all. Um, nah, I'm not liking this. Let me do something like this. Yep. So yeah, this makes sense. So and you must know how to render lips, how to render, as a comic book colorist, you must know how to render the lips, how to render some parts of the human body is very important. I won't lie, something that is very important to learn. When you learn how to render all these things, you will just see that everything just start popping, you know. How to make this part a little bit dark, to give it that 3D feel. So then, please, if you have any questions, please let me know. If you have your friends that wants to learn and they're interested, if it's your Twitter, you can check. And also, I have my Twitter too. You can check me on Twitter, vectakins. And from my Twitter page, you can repost my page, quote repost that, okay, a live is going on. If you guys are willing to join, please join. I know I really, really appreciate. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I really, really appreciate you guys. This means a lot. So, back to, you can see I'm using lots and lots of, you can see the way I rendered the lips and the lower lip too. I'm going to show you, I'm going to lower the lower lip. So I'm going to go back and I'll show you how a little bit of, to give that lower lips, to bring it out. You can see he's already bringing the lower lips, he's already giving that glossy, nice lips out. He's already showing it. That's one thing I love. Rendering is so interesting. It just pops. It's just, the thing just makes sense. It just makes sense. Like when you're rendering, it's so fun. So fun when you're rendering. So add a little bit of touch of light here. And we are still going to add bounce light from the environment. We are still going to add bounce light from the environment, I know, but at least let's just stick to rendering for now. When we are done with rendering, then we'll start going to lights, rendering of bounce lights, and the likes like that. So yeah. Like I said, you can share the live, share the stream, share for your friends to see. Share for your friends to see and watch and learn from. So we are going to continue again and start working on this stuff. So give me some minutes, guys. Give me, I said minutes, some seconds. So I'll be right back. I'm coming. Just give me some seconds. So I'm back. I'm back. I'm back, everyone. I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm back. So let's resume. Let's get to work. So after rendering, we continue our rendering and continue our rendering. So we are going to do a lot and lot of selection. Lot and lot of selection. Which I don't think it's a bad idea. So like and enjoy. So please, if you are joining the stream, you can the post, and I really appreciate you. So hey, Tammy, what's up? How you doing? Hope you are good. Hope you are good. Hope you are good. Hope you are good. So, how's your weekend going? So I have this continuing to render our work. Like I said, when you're render in 3D to give you that, that sweet feel to your work. It's going to give you that sweet feel to your work. And to give you that sweet feel to your work. So yeah, and don't worry, everything will still come to place. We are still going to add bounce lights. We are still going to add a lot of environmental light. A lot of things. We are still going to add all these things, but for now, let's just enjoy the process of rendering. So we are just going to render our work, and if you see, look at the way I render the lips. It's so nice, and look at the way I render the eyes too. Give it that crisp, that sweet look to it, and so for people that are interested in comics and you want to learn how to color, or you do traditional art like I said, and you still want to know how to use your colors, when to use them, how to set your mood and all, always make sure you use reference as an artist. Always make sure you use reference. And I'm not saying using reference is copying what you're saying. I'm saying using reference and interpreting it in your own way to what you want to do and what you want to achieve. So if that makes sense. So yeah. And please don't forget to like the video, share with your friends, share with your people. The vectakins is live. Spitting facts. Bro is spitting facts. I'm just joking. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying, but yeah. But all I know, I'm spitting facts. So yeah. So after our selection, what we're going to do now is start rendering. Like I said, we're going to be rendering in 3D. In 3D. In 3D. In 3D. So this like this, and this like this, and this like this. Don't forget to like the video and to comment if you don't understand, if you don't really understand what we're doing here, and you are just interested or you are intrigued on how the process is going, you can just ask questions and I'll be here to answer. For other people that are just joining the stream, welcome. Welcome to the city of Amashu. Welcome you here. Thank you for joining in. So there's this kind of texture that Mategracia usually add to his work. I'm thinking of trying that right now, but I don't know if it's going to work for me. But let's see. So there's this thing that he loves doing. He loves adding lines, like stuff like this to his work, you know. So let's see if I add it. Okay, I think it's making sense. So let's add some here, you know. I think that's too much. Okay, yeah, this right here. And just add a little bit of, you know, highlight to it. And to give that sweetness. So, yeah. So, and can see how light is coming from here. We have two different sources of light here. We have the orange coming from the bottom, so definitely the orange is going to hit different from the bottom. So how are we going to achieve this? So welcome Emmanuel, how are you doing? So okay, what is going on is that we are coloring a an art page, a line art. That's what we are doing, and we are coloring this line art in form of a cinematic way. So one thing, the way I color, I'm a comic book colorist. Let me introduce myself as that. I'm a comic book colorist. I color art, and One thing I noticed about my colors is that I noticed that I don't I just color, based on coloring, like just come on color in comic way. Well, I started learning how to color in a cinematic way. It's going to be in comic way, but it's going to be cinematic. Like it's going to give this kind of game scene. So this art is from a friend of mine. His name is Alex, and he gave me this art to like use for my stream, and that is what I'm using now. And I'm trying to color this in a cinematic way for people to learn. So yeah, so if you have any questions, I would like to know: are you a colorist, and or you're an artist, and you are interested in learning colors too? So yeah, seeing moving, and our character is already coming out, and if you can see, I'm already adding a little bit of highlight at the bottom here. Everything is already forming shape, coming together, and now we have to like focus on you know some parts that are like less saturated. So for people that are just we are just learning about coloring. This is me just using coloring in a cinematic style, and also teaching people how to color too. It can be in either traditional or you know digital, or whatever means you are coloring. Be you a graphic designer, um, UI UX designer, anyone, just call me and learn how to color, like how to use colors and how to use colors. Yeah, that's how to use colors. That's all. Learning about your value and all like that. Okay, Emmanuel, you said you don't render well. It's okay if you don't render well, and I'll just tell you how you can render in a way that you are going to be like happy with yourself. I'm not saying you're not happy with yourself, don't get me wrong, but just that's just a mini joke. So, what I'm going to say is that when you want to render, read comic books. That I'm going to say, read comic books, look at the way they render, look for your favorite colorist, like it can be Mate Gracia and everything, and pick how to render. And when you want to render, let me use what I'm doing now on the screen for you. Look at this now. So I'm going to look at this the stomach region that I want to color now. If you notice, the curve of the stomach is going like this, is going like this. So I need to render this in a way that is going to fit in the stomach region. And one thing again, you have to understand a little bit of anatomy when you are rendering stuff like this and how lighting. So if I was the one that was going to render this, I'll pick that area like this and render, add my light. And if you notice another thing, there's a part here that is extruding. So you still add a little bit of light there. And if you check this part also, so like that, like that. So it's just like ways of rendering in comic is just you following what following the information that the artist already gave you. You understand? That's just basic. That's just it about rendering. Just following it and following know where your light is coming from, and that is going to help with your rendering. And also, please try to read comic books too, especially Western comic books. I know some people will be like, "Oh, I love solo leveling. I love reading mangas," and all. I'm not saying you should not read them, but when it comes to comic book and you want to learn comic book like how it works, please try as much as possible to read Western comics. It will help, and trust it will help. So can you see what I'm doing? If you notice there's a little bit of break here, we can have black here, and you can see the light coming from the down part. So it's already making it look cinematic already without even adding effect or anything. It's already giving value. So that's what we're going to do. And if you notice this part too, the stomach region is coming outside in a way. It's coming outside. If you can see it, you can see that it's coming outside. So you render, you just add a little, because remember, you need to know how to your lighting, your lighting. Your lighting can be stronger and still be stronger. You understand? It's just going to be stronger, and as it is, as the lighting is coming downwards, it's going to be a little bit of, there's going to be a little bit of dispersion, like it's going to become less and less and less, like that. So, yeah. So that's that is that. So if you have any more question and you want to ask, please ask. If you still don't understand, please ask. If there's any way I can break it to you, I will. I'll try my best to make you understand. That's why we're here. Also, please don't forget to share the live with your friends. Tell them that vectakins is live. Share. Even though they don't know who vectakin is, it's okay. Just share it to them and tell them that they will learn something at least, something to take home and practice. At least. At least. Thank you. So, So basically now we've added our lighting, and we've added our rendering and everything, so it's still remaining this part. And from there we are still going to do foods, how to color foods as a comic book colorist. I don't know if I should continue with the live and to show people, or I should split it. I don't know if I should split it. So your opinion, guys. Should I split how to color foods on this work that I'm doing currently? So I want to start adding some lighting, and mind you, I'm using two layers for my rendering. In case you guys don't know, I'm using two layers for my rendering. I know some people might be wondering, what is going on? How is it applying light? How is the light becoming? How is the rendering, like the colors becoming brighter? So I'm using two layers for my rendering, which is I'm using add glow and normal layer. So that normal layer is to help me to apply my colors. It's to help me to apply my colors and it's to help me to apply my colors effectively. And why the add glow is just like for the rendering, for the highlights rendering. So yeah. So right now I'm currently using the add glow. Sorry, I said add light. I mean add glow on Clip Studio Paint. For people that are just joining, I'm using Clip Studio Paint. And if you are just joining, please make sure you like the video. Please like and subscribe. I'll really appreciate you guys. Thank you. So right now we are adding our light, which is our rim light, from the light that's coming out from here. We're adding our rim light. There's some here too. No, there's no need to add there. And maybe a little to the hair. Yeah, then that's it. I think yeah. So so let's continue. And so for now we are done coloring the face, adding our details to the face and all. So another thing I like doing after adding details to the face and doing what I could do, there's another thing I love doing, which is adding something I love doing, which is adding what is it called? Which is adding a little bit of shade of colors to what I'm doing. So basically I'll create a new layer, set it to soft light layer, set it to soft light. So right now I'm working on the soft light layer, and I'll start adding tones, like red tones to the skin, like to the nose area, to the cheek a little, to just give, and to the forehead here, just give that, that tone so that everything won't be complete gray. You can still see that there's a little bit of life, and add a little here too, you know, and some here to just give it that life, you understand. And we are going to add to the light area too, because the light is affecting the hand, so it needs to show that there's life there, that there's blood. So that's what I meant by life, that there's blood. So it's going to make it look cool and a little bit realistic, And yeah, so I'm going to add so yeah, and after adding our lights, you know, then move on to the next level, which is rendering the clothes. I don't know if I should render the clothes or I should just do the hair. Okay, let's do hair first. Let's render the hair. So we'll come to the hair and we'll start rendering. So I'm just going to pick a simple color for the hair. I'm going to go for let me go for brown. I was thinking of going for another color, but I don't know. But let me go for brown. Oh, I've now added some things. Some sorry. So now added some things to the lips. So which I'm going to do now. So let me add something to the lips first before moving. Let me make the lips a little bit of red. Make it red. Just make it pop and make it look glossy. And just add a little bit of white there. Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Looking sharp. So yeah, and So, so as we're moving, let's go back to the hair rendering. So, thank you, Precious. Thank you so much. Glad you love them. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. So, let's move on to the colors for the hair. So we are going to choose a dark brown for the hair. Maybe make it a little bit lighter on the side here. And mind you, the way we are going to render our hair is going to be very, very different. Like very, very different. So the way we are going to render hair, like I said, is still the same thing. Not so different, it's still the same thing. It's just like following the the flow. The line artist already gave you the flow of the hair, so you just follow, pick and follow. Just pick and follow, and after you've picked, you just do something called a faint application. So you pick your color and you apply faintly. You pick your color and you apply faintly. You don't apply all the colors. That's why I'm using a soft brush. So you apply faintly. As you can see here, this is the faint application. And you go again. Go again. You apply. And if you also want to learn more on this, you can check Mohammed Agbadi how to render hair and all. You can learn from there. But here I'm still going to post my videos. I'm still going to post my videos, upload my videos for people to see so that people can still watch again. So, and I think I might just put, what is it called? I might add some, should I call it a demarcation or I don't know, to my video so that if you want to just watch how to render the hair part, you can just go straight there. If you want to watch how to render the body part, you can just go straight there. If you know what I'm saying. So yeah. So it will be easier for people to watch, for people to, to just watch. So this, I need to render this or so. So that's how it's going to go. So we render your hair like this, layers upon layers upon layers. It's just like layering, it's just similar to vector art, but not vector art. You know, if you get what I'm saying. It's just like a gradient level, applying little by little, little by little, little by little. So yeah. So please, if you have any question, you can ask. So basically what I'm doing is just rendering. If you are new to the stream, can kindly say hello in the comments. If you can share, please share with your friends. Share with your friends. Share with your loved ones that vectakins is live, and we would like you guys to join to learn more about comic. You know, I'm just here to chill, to learn some things and practice. If you're a comic book colorist, yeah, and if that's what you want to go into, and also if you are not a colorist, maybe a traditional artist, you can also pick one or two on how to apply colors or how to render with your hand, regardless. It's still the same way, it's just going with the flow too. When you want to paint as a traditional artist, when you want to handle your paint after dipping it inside your brush, there's a way you mix your paint. It depends on the kind of paint you are using. If you are the kind of person that wants a smooth work, smooth, soft work, you can. There's a way you mix your paint, you apply your brush, and you follow the flow. You don't paint like one, 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 two, two, three, three. No. You just follow. Follow the flow, follow it again, follow it again. That's just it. So it's still like the same application. So so now we are almost done rendering the hair. Just some, some parts to cover. Just some parts to cover, and Okay, and color this piece of jewelry here. So, and what am I going to do? Okay, so now I'll create another layer, set it to multiply, and that's when I'll start adding my secondary shadows, you know, so places like this, because light is not really touching these areas, so I'm going to add my shadows there, you know. So just going to add a little bit of shadow there and a little bit of shadow here too. So here I'm going to render the bottom nose, add a little bit of bounce light there from, you know, just make it a little bit poppy, and just add just that tiny highlight. Yep, there you go. Looking sweet. So and we are still going to apply something here. This place is still gray, we can't just leave it like that. We are still going to apply something that is just going to make the drawing more interesting, like way more interesting. So I'm just going to create oh, I have my soft light layer already. So on my soft light layer, going back to my soft light layer, I'm just going to apply a little bit of bounce light from, it's just like an environmental light, you know, if you get what I'm saying. Because that place is cool, so I'm just going to add a little bit of blue there. It's going to give this purple shade. So it's going to give this kind of purple feel, but yeah. But just big blue and apply. And you can see it's now making it just apply softly, and yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm going to start applying my multiply little by little. And I'm applying my multiply little by little, you know, just adding multiply to areas that I feel like should be dark. And areas I feel there should be shadows too, you know. And this part too, can add this little hair shadow from here. yeah, and maybe a little, yeah, yeah. So there we go. Man, guys, I'm tired. It's not easy. So then I'll just pick a yellow ribbon, just to give this Ghost of Yote vibe. Oh, let me check Ghost of Yote again. Let me see the kind of, does she have any ribbon? Ghost of Yote. I think Tsushima was kind of blue. Hers is, I don't know what color. Probably black, I guess. I don't know if it's black or red. But let's just go for Ghost of Tsushima kind of color. Let's go for blue. Since the eyes is blue, so let's just since the eyes is blue, and I want to use another color for the top, maybe a yellow color. You know what? Let's just go with yellow. Let's just go with yellow. Maybe a grayish yellow. Yeah, let's go with. I don't know. Let me see again. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, let's go with yellow. Then we'll go with the blue. Yeah. So for the blue, yeah, I'm just going to use probably a red color. No, I'm going to use a blue color, a grayish blue for the ribbon. Okay. So, I think the blue is looking nice. So, I just come to this. I don't know if I'm going to finish this today, but let's see if I can finish everything today or we'll just continue next time. So you have the glow here. So let's see. Okay, I have so I want to use yellow for this top here. So I'm going to apply my yellow. Like I said, anytime I apply my colors, I apply faintly so that it can blend with the gray. You get what I'm saying? So it can blend with the gray. And the fact that this part is kind of light is because there's a light coming from below. So that's why you see that that part is light, if you understand. So yeah. And yeah. That's it. And, so just going to apply faintly our rendering from here to here. So, you know, rendering and still rendering. Please, if you like what I'm doing, you can share with your friends. You can share with your friends, family, to learn how to color. So I will just speak on what is it called on the previous what is it called on the previous stream that I was doing the YouTube testing. So I will still continue the art. I will still continue. I will still lead people on how it is going, and I'm still going to finish it live here. Then, and I also want to say, starting from next month, that's when I'll start, posting videos, because right now I'm still like trying to upgrade my skill on editing and how to go about it. Honestly, I thought it was going to be easy something, but maybe I'm the one overthinking it. But I feel it's great through. I should. I should. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on, guys. But we'll be fine. So right now I'm just adding tones with my, like I said, with my what is it called? With my soft light layer to just make the colors pop more. And now I'll go back to my multiply and add a little bit of shadow at the bottom. On the bottom here to give it a certain the way they look. So yep. And oh boy. I know I can't wait to get to the editing part too. I just want to start editing. I said editing. I mean adding effects. Adding effects is so sweet. I can't wait to start adding effects. Well, you can't rush the process. Go little by little, little by little, little by little. So let's color this. Give it a white color. Maybe this kind of color we do. Uh, ooh. I think this must have been the longest stream I've ever done. I think I will have to finish this today's stream. I will have to finish this. I'm enjoying it so far, even though I'm tired. No pain, no gain. So, so, if you are just joining, welcome to the stream. And welcome. This is what we are working on. Just want to show you what we are working on. We are trying to color in a cinematic way. So that's what we are currently working on. If you have questions, you can ask. Glad to answer you. So, yeah, currently we're just adding details to the line arts, to the elements we're coloring. I mean, yeah, just going to make it a little bit gray because there's no light coming from this area. Hello everyone. As you're joining, you can like and comment. So right now, I just want to work on the end. When we are done, then from there, just move and start coloring the torso and her blade also. And after we're done, then we can finally move to, effects. Man, I can't wait. I can't wait to move to effects. Effect is so fun to do. It's so fun. Just playing around with different elements just to give you that sweet effect. Effect is so fun. Can't wait to actually do that. So coming back to this, how we're going to render this, and since light is coming out, coming from the bottom here, just going to add some little bit of, light, and make it look in form of 3D. For it to pop. Could have used my lasso here, but I just feel it is not necessary for me to do that. I can just, just paint on it, then I can use my lasso later on. I can use my lasso later on and just make everything pop. So right now I have this, and I can now use my lasso to just add a little bit of rough textures to just make it look just to add a little bit of texture to things. Yep. So I think we're done with that, and I can just add a little bit of yeah, not close to white. Yes. Okay. Just yeah. So now we're back to the torso. I'm going to use the colors from Ghost of Yoti for the torso, which is like a deep blue, a very, very less saturated, and dark blue. That's what I'm going to use. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. So, adding a little bit of details at the bottom here. My dark blue, and making some saturated at the bottom. Just give it a saturated look at the bottom. So here I'm going to add some highlights at the top here to make it sound amazing, make it look amazing, you know. So yeah, that's that. And I think I need to go for hydration break. I need to drink some water. But I don't think I don't think I have to. I'm coming. Okay, taking water so we can continue. We can continue. So after adding our details, then we need to color the robe here. Should we make it black? Or maybe a dark red? Let's make it black. I'm going to use a dark color for this. For our robe around the waist. So basically I'm coloring in a cinematic way, and I'm using Ghost of Yote as my key point of reference, my key reference. So that's what you can see here. And I'm trying to make it very, very cinematic in a way. So I'm not done yet, we are still doing colors, we are still going to do some things that are still going to make it look more cinematic, more, just more suiting to see. So let's use a dark color and a little bit of, red at the top. And I'm going to a gray color and start applying. Okay, so I think I'm done rendering the robe. I think I'm using a lot of shapes here, so let me just make it flow instead of just using shapes. Actually, that's my style. People know me for, oh, he loves using triangles and squares for his details. So I think, yeah, it's a little bit more better now. just put a little bit of highlights, you know, like tiny highlights, not too crazy. So yeah, I think we are done with the character, and and now we can move to where is it good? The katana. So I just thought of something. Maybe I might add some horror to the katana. You know, probably coming from a hand, controlling the katana, drawing the katana outwards. That would look cool. That would be cool. That would be cool. Okay. Sure. This and this. So just give it the katana look, you know, and a little bit of so yeah, the bottom there. I can add some details here. I don't know what color I should add to this. Maybe red. Maybe red work. I don't know. I feel the red is too sharp. It's too shouting. Okay, the blue work. The blue is working. Okay, can do blue. Sweet things to be. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. You guys can tell me if everything is in order now. Can let me know. So I don't know if you guys can hear me, if the stream is going well. If you know you can hear me on the stream, please let me know. If the stream is working well, please let me know. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm having some difficulties here. Okay, I think we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. Okay, I think we're back. Okay. So think we're back and are ready to continue, ready to cook. So just going to add something here to just make, oh, we are doing pop more, you know. Just give the sword life by adding some more stuff to it, you know, just to make it, well, to give him more life, basically. I don't know if I like what I'm saying, but let's continue. Okay, I think this one is better. Hey, precious. Precious. People that are just joining, welcome to my stream. I really appreciate you guys. You guys can do me a favor by liking the stream. Liking the stream. I really appreciate that. I also want to say thank you to everyone for joining, for staying so far till now. I think we spent almost 2 hours now on this, which is kind of funny. So, what I'm trying to achieve from all these things I'm doing is I'm also learning here. I'm also learning. To people that are joining. I'm also here learning because I want to start making my work look like I want to make it look cinematic. That's what I'm going for. The cinematic feel to my work. I want to make it look cinematic. So yeah. Hope you guys are not experiencing any glitch. Or can let me know. And I also want to know how my stream too is doing. Hope it's doing well. So sorry, I forgot to remove the be right back. So my apologies. Just noticed that. So for this I'm just going to like go with color. Let's give it a blue shade, you know. And I'm also using a shrink effect to just help me to like, you know. So yeah, I don't know if I should use gold, a gold color, but let's see how it's going to go. I don't know if a good color will fit in. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let me use probably less saturated gold feel. Okay, I think this works. Not bad. I think this works. I think this works. It's not even bad at all. Let's just use this. Let's just use this one. It's not bad at all. I'm just going to use this one. Just going to use this one. Oh, nice. Okay. Not actually a bad idea. It's not actually a bad idea. Not gonna lie. It's not a bad idea at all. So I think I'll just do the same thing here, but it's just going to be a little bit of, it's just going to be less saturated, if you understand what I'm saying. It's going to be less saturated. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be less saturated. Let's see. Uh, just add a little bit of touch there and there. And I think we can call it done. Should not add too much details. Too much details won't make sense. So yeah, pretty much. This is okay. So going back to Ghost of Tsushima, I think I'm going to use the gold and blue texture here. So I'll just use probably the gold texture here, and I'll use blue for the what is it called? For the clouds, and probably the handles there too also. So since the what is it called is coming like this, so that means there will be a little bit of shadow at this point. So let me just quickly create the shadow before I forget. There's going to be a shadow from the blade. coming from here, I think. Nah, that's too much. Yeah, yeah. And we can just, add our little cute clouds. Give it some colors. Give it that blue, the blue that I've been using. Give it a blue tone, and here too, here also, here too, here too. Yeah, nice. And how you can just say, just adding. Like I said, I'm still learning, guys. Still learning, even though I become a professional colorist. I'm still learning. I'll still continue to learn because where I want to get to, I've not gotten there. And I don't think in this life I'm going to the more I grow, the more I'll see things I want to become. So I think that's just how life is. So back to art and just adding some details to the details to our work. Comic book colorist, a professional comic book colorist, yeah. I think I can call myself that. Yes, I can. Can I? Oh god. I just want to learn and be good and better. So yeah, I think I can just add some little bit of tiny details. Yeah, just not so much, not too crazy, not so much, not too crazy. Just following up, going, going. Okay, so and we are going to have a shadow here also. Is it going to go like this? Yeah, I think it should. Let me use a polynomial. So for this, yeah, nice. So now I'm back to the sword again, and it's to start. Like I said, I can't wait to do the effects, to make it look cinematic. You know, that's what I'm after. I think for people that are just joining, you're welcome. You can like the stream. I mean, you can like it and give it a like, subscribe. please don't forget to subscribe. If you like what I'm doing, you can subscribe. And for normal videos, posting, I just prefer stream for now. But I told my followers that I'm going to be doing a live, what is it called? Not live stream. I'm going to be doing posting videos. I'm going to be posting my videos like online by starting from next month. You understand? Starting from next month, I'm going to be posting my videos. So just like videos on just simple things that artists can do, because I feel people are looking for something they can quickly do. And in one thing I noticed is that there's nothing you can quickly do. You have to take your time with things that you want to do, whether you like it or not. If you want to learn, you take your time with it. You can't rush. Take your time with it, learn it, and yeah, you see the results. And I'm not saying take your time, maybe after taking your time for one day and you want to be seeing a very, very big result. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So it's just step by step. Uh, Thank you, Pokemon Master. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, man, you just won my heart. Thank you so much, Pokemon. Thank you. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. So, yeah, just, picking our, you know, just picking where we are going to apply this thing. I know it's a lot of work, trust me. It's a lot of work, but you just have to do it as a colorist. As a colorist, just have to do it, but there's a way we, escape, doing all these things. So from now, if you can notice, the thing is already going down. So the selection is already like going downwards and everything. So you can just, be picking little by little and just, you don't need to do extra or more details anymore. So as a colorist, you need to understand some things that it's not everything that needs to be detailed. There are some parts that you just need to leave for breathing space. You understand? You just have to leave for breathing space. So yeah, let's render and boom, boom. We have this. I'm coming. Let me just. Uh, Thank you, Pokemon Master. I would love to thank you so much that you want to learn from me. Really, really, really appreciate. I really, really do. And also, if you don't mind me asking, are you a colorist also? Like comic book colorist or an artist? If you don't mind me asking. Oh yeah. Yeah, of course. Of course. Hey, sleepy artist. How you doing? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the stream. And I'll be streaming every Saturday starting 11 a.m. till whatever time. Till whatever time. Probably till I finish what I'm working on or what I'm streaming or what I'm doing. So yeah. So I know. So you can just anytime it's Saturday and it's 11, just know that vectakins is streaming, and you can just turn on your tab, your laptop, and stream with me. You can just as I'm doing some things, you can be doing it also with me. Rendering, you can be learning and all. So yeah. So we added our details, and just let me add a little bit of glossy details here, just to make it shine. Yeah, nice. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, man. Please also share with your friends too. Also share with your friends too who are interested. You know that okay, they are looking for people to learn from. We can also learn together. So yeah. So this is the final art. This is the final piece. We are done with the rendering. We are done with the. Oh, we are not done yet. Oh, sorry. I almost forgot that. We've not added. We've not added our rim light here. Sorry about that, guys. So, yeah, just going to continue from here. Add our light. So, we have this, and just add a little bit of texture here. So, yep, we have this here, and now since I'm done, now we are going to jump into the interesting part, which is now adding, effects, effects that will make this look more cinematic, more interesting, more intriguing, and it's just something that is lovely to see. So, but before I do that, I'll just add some little bit of tones, red tones to the skin to just make it feel, human, to show the blood coming. So for the red tone, I'm adding, using a soft light layer to add the red tones. So you can see, added the red tones so that the whole image won't just be looking gray. To still have that touch of human taste to it. So yeah, a bit of red, and to the skin, to the hand too, adding it there also. So adding more red to the lips to make it pop more. And the eyes, yeah, where they are there. So one thing that I'm going to do right now, I'm done adding my red and all. So my next step is now adding effects to this. Just going to add effects to this. So right now I'm just going to create a new layer, set it to add glow because I'm using Clip Studio Paint. And if you're using, Photoshop, you can just do add light. I said add light, linear, dodge, screen, or add light. Anyone that works for you. Me, I love to use add glow. I love to use add glow. So now, since we are done, we are just going to do where is it called? I'm just going to add a little bit of effect on the eyes. The eyes is glowing to make it look more, cinematic. That's sweetness to it. Just give it a horror. Just give it a glowing aura. Get what I'm saying? So just give it a so yeah, you can see, give it that glow. You render the glow very well, and I'm thinking of adding a little bit of aura on her hand. I'm thinking of adding a little bit of aura on her hand. I don't know. So let me see if I can create something. Let me see if I can create something. Let me see if I can achieve something. Let me see if I can achieve something. Yeah. No, that's too much. So just going to add a little bit of, say horror to the hand, as if she's controlling the sword. If you get my point, like as if she's controlling the sword. And everything that I'm doing here, I'm just rendering it with, soft brush. So if you think you need any special brush to do all these things, you don't actually need all these things. So you don't actually need all these things. I'm just using soft brush for everything that I'm doing, except from the background I use a texture brush for, just to make it rough, the background, the clouds. I just used the random brush and started blending together and all. So even though you have a texture brush and you don't know how to manipulate your ways around it, you might not get it right. So one thing is having the brush, one thing is knowing how to use it, and one thing is knowing how to manipulate it to what you want. So yeah, I have this here, and now I have to create some kind of horror around the sword to make it show and pop that. Okay, yeah, she's actually controlling the sword. So how am I going to do? Create a Pokemon. What texture brushes do you use? Honestly, like I said, I only use soft soft brush. that most of the time for my work. It's just soft brush. The only time I use texture brushes probably for clouds, probably for sand, floors, probably for building sometimes. Sometimes I don't even use it. I just use texture brush to like just make things look more cool. But right now I've been using texture brushes to create some things that I want. You understand? And sometimes it's just some default brushes on Clip Studio Paint that I would just use to just give me that feel, to give me that interesting feel. If you get what I'm saying. So I'm going to add some glows on the sword and a little bit of effect to show that it's to show that it's what is it called, the the aura from my hand is actually controlling the sword, just to give it that feel. And yeah, like this, to give it that feel, to show it that, oh, the energy is coming from my hand and it is affecting the sword. You and I feel I need to like make the the more saturated the blue so that it can look similar to the colors from our hand. So yeah, exactly. Oh, I think it's looking more pink now. Sorry. Let me, yeah, this. Okay. And we are done with coloring. No, we are not done. There's still more to do. So, which is adding a little bit of blending in your colors from here, from the background to the bottom of what you're doing, just to create that atmosphere, that just a little bit of atmosphere and we can decide to add dust to what we are doing and decide to add dust like this. So this is a texture brush now that I'm using. I'm using a texture brush. And honestly, if you ask me that how did I get this texture brush, I don't know. I don't know. But I just did. I think I was just looking for something random and all of a sudden I just discovered that, oh, I downloaded this. Oh, where from? And so nice. So I was like, okay, might be using this. So I was just like, oh, I might be using this. Oh, okay. This is so nice. I'll use it for my work and everything. And yeah, now you see me using it. And I'm just coloring this thing to make it, you know, cinematic as possible, like I've always been saying. And I'm so proud that it came out nice. It it came out, really, really good the way I pictured it in my head. And let me see. So right now, I want to add some cinematic dust, not cinematic dust, just like cinematic dust. Yeah, it's cinematic dust. I don't know which. Maybe I should do a hexagon or the round one. Let me test it. So, see, it's going to go. Okay, just going to add some cinematic stuff here. So, yeah, I don't know if this is what I'm adding is good enough, but I don't know. I'll still choose which one works better. Let me test the round one. I think, I don't know. I don't know which one to pick. Oh, I'm using the wrong round cinematic brush. Let me do, yeah, this. Sorry. So I think this one is actually looking nice. I don't know which one to pick. Either the round or the hexagon. I feel the hexagon is making it look, I don't know. Let me see the circle. I think I'll just go with the circle. And what else? What else? What else? What can I add again? Okay, now let's see. Hope I'm not missing it. Oh, let me add some cinematic dust. Some cinematic triangular particles. Where is it? No. Let me just use the round one. Yeah, this. Let me just use this one. Not so crazy. So, yeah, I'm thinking of adding. So, right now, let me see if I can add something like raindrops. I just kept on adding. I just want to try it. I just want to see if it's going to work. Don't be like me, guys. Don't be like me and be adding and adding and adding. So let's do filter, motion blur. Oh, okay. Okay. I see, I see, I see you. I see you. I see you. It's actually giving that vibe. It's already giving me the cinematic vibe already. Okay, see you. So one thing that I'll need to add now is another close-up raindrops that I need to do. So I have to add another one. Then increase, enlarge the layer, make it big, visible. Yeah. So yeah, we are back and we can see the little raindrops, and you can just blow it a little, motion blower, reduce the strength, and yeah, and just add a little bit of droplets on the skin. Add a little bit of droplet on the skin. So I can add this, and everything is just coming to life, and I'm happy everything is coming to life. I think the raindrops are not bad. Hope it's not too much. It's not too much actually. It's not. I don't think so. I don't think it's too much. I don't think it's too much. So I'm thinking of adding a flower. I'm coming. So I'm just going to create some flowers. Control, enlarge it, enlarge it, enlarge it, and I think I'll just bring it close. Okay, then yeah, enlarge, 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 yeah, something like this. And I'll just, blow it. No, I think I should maintain the colors for the petals. Should I maintain the colors for the petals? Yeah, I think I should. Let me see if I can change the color. So maybe yellow color. Yeah, let me change it to yellow color. Then I can just erase some and probably take some, add it here. Maybe take this, add it here. Yeah. And maybe take this and reposition it around here, and this, take it and probably put it around somewhere here. I think somewhere here. No, yeah, okay, and I can just blur if possible. And probably add a filter, motion blur, a little bit of motion blur to it. Yeah. Okay. So now we have our hat, and now is now the time to make it look sweet. To make it look sweet, Control B. Oh, sorry. Edit, toner, color balance. Blue, red, and yellow. Yeah. I don't know. I feel with this one is too much. I think I can just clean this. Can clean this. Can clean this. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm okay with this. I think I'm okay with this. So yeah, we are done with today's stream, basically, and I'm happy to announce that. Wow, I'm happy to announce that we are done with today's stream, and capture these guys. Capture these guys. Doesn't this look good? Doesn't this look good? So yeah, this is it. And I just want to say thank you guys for chilling with me throughout this process. This is the whole image. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you very much for chilling with me, for staying for some time, for the likes. Please make sure you tell your friends that vectakins will always be live on Instagram. I said Instagram, on YouTube, sorry. We'll always be live on YouTube to, for us to go through this process, color something in a cinematic way, to just give us that vibe, that sweet vibe, that interesting vibe. Just feel sweet, interesting. So, yeah. So, I love you guys. Take care, and that's what I would just say. Just take care of yourself, and we'll meet next week, Saturday, 11 a.m. Thank you, everyone, for standing by. And also, don't forget to tell your friends about my page, subscribe, like, and share to with people, friends, and family. All right. Thank you, guys. And they will be the end.